watching on YouTube, do me the favor of liking the video. All right, you're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, good afternoon, Brian. This is Richie.
Oh, hey, Richie.
I want to tell the people something and use something that I never told anybody, but I'm going to talk about socialism because I benefited by socialism as a kid growing up. And I never let you know this stuff. I'm going to show people what happens to socialism when you write it out. Basically, my parents, when I was a kid growing up as a little boy, I was in an apartment building in New York City.
Oh, hold on, before you get to the drama, let me answer all these lines that are coming in, okay? Because I don't want to interrupt the drama. It sounds interesting. All right, go ahead, Richie.
It is interesting. It was rent controlled. As a little boy, we had marble everything in the hallways, chandeliers, beautiful Queen Anne chairs, the whole bit. We had a dumbwaiter. Do you know what a dumbwaiter is?
A dumbwaiter?
A dumbwaiter. We had dumbwaiter service. In the kitchen, we had like an elevator.
Oh yeah.
That you would put your
There's people have those like in fancy houses. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, we used to have the superintendent would buzz at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and when you put your garbage, you didn't have to walk your garbage downstairs.
Oh wow.
The halls, everything was kept spotless. We got to paint. They painted our apartment every 4 years. It was like
So what's the point to what we're talking about?
Well, the punchline was this: they started with the rent control. The landlords that owned all those buildings stopped with the services, started hiring. In other words, we lost everything that we had. The hallways became empty. The chairs were gone. The chandeliers were unscrewed and taken out of the hallways. The smell of urine was behind the steps, coming down the steps. It completely changed. And you know what it got? I moved out of there. I was 18 years old. I moved to Hollywood, Florida. 10 years later, in the Bronx, New York, the whole section where I lived was up in smoke. The Bronx was burning because landlords couldn't make money on their property.
And if they're not making money, they can't invest. So basically, what this means is socialism / communism took a nice neighborhood, nice homes, and turned them into dumps.
And it's going to happen again. They didn't learn their lesson because when landlords get told they can't raise rents, and they got property that they've actually bought for an investment.
And the taxes go up, of course. The taxes always go up.
Everything.
Yeah.
So they hire somebody to burn the whole building down. The insurance has to give them the money.
That's right.
It happened in 1970. If you took a ride on 995, you'd say, "Oh my God, this looked like the atomic bomb went off." All the blocks of burned out houses, completely burned out. So this is what happens with communism.
Yeah,
and then
absolutely.
I worked down in Florida.
Well, listen, Richie, I'm going to move on because I don't want to. Call me tomorrow with the next story because you can get into that. But I got a lot to cover here. But yeah, it really shows you when the government gets involved in things they shouldn't be involved in. What happens?
They ruined it.
Yeah.
Destroyed it.
Well, look at Havana, Cuba. I mean, there's a lot of videos coming up out of Havana lately because of all the time. And they don't even have a dump. They just dump the trash on the streets, and the streets are not even paved.
I saw that video.
Yeah.
I saw the same video you did. Oh my God! They don't have any transportation anymore. No more buses are running.
It's a ghost town in Havana, the capital.
I can't believe it.
Yeah. All right, Richie, you take care. All right.
I saw the same video.
All right, take care. All right, you're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Brian. It's up for 9 out of California.
Yeah. What's up?
I was just wondering, what has the newly elected mayor for New York City actually done that is positive for New York?
Well, nothing, and he's doing something right now. It's going to happen in a couple weeks that is so disgusting. Mom Donnie's wife she's from Syria. She's traveling to Syria and Lebanon. Mom Donnie's wife. She's traveling to Syria and Lebanon on a trip, and she's taking with her security detail, which is made up of NYPD police officers. And I got to tell you, what message does it send to the Muslim world that the wife of the mayor of New York City is visiting these Muslim countries with bodyguards from the police department that ran into the buildings that everybody else was running out of, that were knocked down during the Islamic terror attack of 9/11. I find that so disgusting and offensive.
Well, I'm sorry. What is the point of her going to these two areas that is beneficial for?
I think she's going to some women's Muslim retreat thing. Like you might go to like a Bible event over the weekend. She's going to like some Islamic thing.
No, I get that, but my question is, what benefit is that for the city of New York?
None. In fact, what it tells the Muslim world is that the United States lost the war on terror, and the Muslims won it. I mean, she's almost like a conquering heroine who's returning to the Middle East.
I can understand how that perspective would be perceived. I was just, why is the city of New York having to pay for her detail to go with her on the city's dime?
Exactly.
That sounds like a vacation for her, not something that's benefiting the city. There's also some issues in regards to Amazon, where there's a bunch of delivery drivers, approximately 10,000, that might be potentially losing their jobs because he's attempting to end up telling Amazon how to run its business.
Yeah.
The fact of the matter is that whenever you end up getting the government to get involved in stuff, FYI, it completely ends up screwing it up, and people end up suffering. I mean, these people that might be potentially end up losing their jobs. I was listening to a podcaster who was covering it, that it actually helps people who are trying to transition out of, the shelters and this, that, and the other, because it's a job that they can easily get. There's not a lot of educational requirements, that kind of thing. And those type of jobs are not available for those type of people.
Yeah.
They find it really, really difficult to find employment.
Mm-hmm.
And employment is one of the one things that they really need to do to be able to transition out of the
Well,
environment
this whole thing about New York City, all right, being all these things they're talking about, right, where everybody, New York, there's a handful of places in New York that have limited space and are in demand. New York City, Los Angeles, where you're out in California, San Francisco, where I'm at here in beautiful sunny Florida, Hawaii. And these are premium areas that demand premium prices to live. And if you can't afford it, you don't live in New York. You move somewhere where you can afford it. Or you don't live in LA, or you don't live in Malibu, or you don't live by the beach here in Florida. You find a place you can afford. This idea that people should live in some of the most expensive areas like New York City at some reduced rate and have free everything thrown to them is absurd.
It's completely absurd, but you want to know something? I was actually thinking about that same subject, and I was reviewing in my head, when did this increase in rent and what have you actually start? And it started right before COVID. It started when we had this mass invasion.
Yeah.
And being the state that has the largest amount of illegals in their state, I can guarantee you, because we didn't have this problem before, because if we had, our rents would have increased then.
Well, listen, what's going on in the country right now, and here's the thing, I agree with what you're saying, but I think one of the things that people are making the mistake of doing in the mainstream media, when they talk about these Democrat socialists, they talk about them just like there's some left-wing Democrats. Mamdani, Abdul, Hong in Wisconsin, and all the rest. What they are is a Trojan horse. They're talking to them about these rent control and things like that. They're a Trojan horse looking to destroy our country from within.
But before you let me go, I just wanted to give you an update of what's going on here, because I don't know if you're aware of. But the Nippy and ramen that is the one that
ramen noodles, the mayor's race in L.A.
Right. Did you by chance know that she got kicked off of the appointment to be in the head of the homeless sector that she was running?
Really?
They kicked her off last week. So I don't exactly know what's going on. There's a whole bunch of stuff going on with the city council. One of the members they're attempting to indict him for several charges, so he's in court dealing with that. There's a whole bunch of stuff that's going on with the LA City Council. But that DSA communist, she needs to be dealt with as well. So it's going to be really interesting what goes on here. There's still, the issues in regards to finding out the voting issue, the votes and this, that, and the other. So we're still, they're still looking into it. And I'll go ahead and throw you all the information that I ended up getting since I'm here. But, you're very, very right. Allow them to talk because they end up putting themselves in a corner.
Exactly.
And when you have James Carville, who is probably among the most well-known Democratic faces, especially when it comes to strategies for campaigns, even threatened that he wants to end up leaving, even though he made a statement where he wasn't going to leave it, he was going to fight, yada, yada, yada.
Yeah.
But when you have, and Bill Maher for that, I don't know if you watched that or saw the clips, but Bill Maher's basically saying that you people are absolutely crazy.
Mm-hmm.
They have a huge, gigantic problem on their hands, and it's a beautiful thing to see.
Yeah, it absolutely is. Hey, listen, I appreciate the call. You make some good points.
Thanks.
All right, take care. Yeah, if you'd like to call in, the number's toll-free, 888-465-2631. If you're watching live on YouTube, the number's pinned in the live chat. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Brian, it's Sean from Massachusetts.
Hey, Sean, what's up?
Well, good points from the last couple calls there, and she's very right, too. One thing you have to do is let the enemy do what they're best at, and that's, destroying themselves.
Yes.
Because they're just giving themselves away.
That's right. It's let them theory. The let them theory. Let them. Yes. That's the best thing you can do. They sound so stupid. I mean, you've seen those clips I played. They just sound like idiots.
Oh yeah. Well, just let them go. I mean, they're just doing what they do best, and you know what? Just let them shoot themselves in the foot. That's the best thing you can do because it's the Democrats understand this. I mean, it's hard to believe that we are finding common ground with what, months ago we didn't see anything. And, it's just amazing to see where this is going to work on two different ends here. One, we're going to win the midterms bigly. And,
that's right.
Two is maybe they can get back to some stability somehow.
Mm-hmm. I don't want the Democrats to get stable again, but right now, these Democrats. Hey, listen, I got to move on because I got a lot to cover, but I appreciate the call. You're right. You make some good points. Again, if you'd like to call in, the number's toll free and pinned in the live chat. This is a clip. I want to share this. This is CNN. And this is a woman who's outside of a polling location in Wisconsin. And she's a Hong supporter who's the Democrat Socialist in Wisconsin. Yeah, okay, so she voted for Hong. Oh boy.
Yes, and so it's nice to see someone who's like me.
Okay, now this is crazy because this woman is Asian. So what she's saying is she voted for someone because they're of the same ethnicity. Is that not textbook racism? Like here in the governor's race, we have the Florida governor's, the Republican primaries going on, right? We have several candidates. I'm voting for the black guy, all right, Byron Donalds. The other guys that are running are white. If I told you I wasn't voting for Byron Donalds, I'm voting for someone because they look like me, it would sound like what that would sound like. And this woman here is a textbook racist. She's simply voting for someone because she's Asian and the candidate's Asian. And I'm sure the CNN reporter is not going to ask about that.
Yes, and so it's nice to see someone who's like me to be in the office, and she's a single mom, not a single mom, but I was at one point, and she's a hardworking mom. She's a woman who understands women's issues, and
Okay, I mean that's really just racism. I mean it really truly is. It doesn't get more racist than that. And of course they didn't ask. Now here's Hong, and she seemed like she looks like she hasn't slept in like a week, right? This is just what you want in a governor. She's cracking from the pressure of the election.
About you that you don't think the media has picked up on over the course of this campaign thus far? Is there any information about your background that you think voters are potentially missing out on?
I've cooked many great Thanksgiving dinners.
Oh my goodness. She was against Thanksgiving, now she's in favor of, oh, okay, and vote for you. I wouldn't eat anything this woman prepared. Would you trust her to prepare your meal?
And I'm not going to cancel it.
Oh, okay. Well, okay. You know, and the funny thing is, that makes sense to her. See what I mean about let them be, let them say what it is they're going to say, because they're all nutbags. If you're new to the program, this is where MAGA comes to talk. If you're new, make sure that you subscribe, okay? We're going to take a quick break, come back with much more right after this.
On the line, we have Gina. She's a client of Jupiter Joe Thomas. Gina, how you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you, Brian?
I'm doing great, thanks. So you went and met with Joe Thomas about annuities. Can you tell me about your experience?
I can't say enough good things about my experience with Joe Thomas. He's a straight shooter. He tells it like it is. He talks in plain language so that you know, because I didn't know anything about this stuff when I retired. So I walked into his office and immediately I felt comfortable. And I said, look, I know nothing about this. I don't want to lose my shirt. So please guide me in the right direction so that I'll be set. And he sure did. And I'm very happy that I went there. And I even got my mother to join too. Now I feel comfortable that I'm set and I don't have to worry about running out of money.
Yeah, there's nothing worse than running out of money when you run out of life, right?
Exactly.
Give Jupiter Joe Thomas a call and schedule your no-charge consultation. His number is 561-743-0999. 561-743-0999. And online, jupiterjoe.com. All right, Gina, thanks so much.
Thank you, Brian.
What if you could understand the Bible story from creation to Jesus to the fulfillment of end times prophecy? Now you can with engaging, eye-opening Bible study live streams where Scripture comes together in a clear, easy-to-follow way that will deepen your understanding of God's Word. Discover how the events unfolding in today's world fit into the bigger picture God reveals throughout the Bible. Explore biblical prophecy and what it says about the future. Compare God's truth with Satan's deception. Examine the evidence for creation versus evolution and gain fresh insight into the people, places, and promises found throughout Scripture. Whether you're new to Bible study or have been reading the Bible your entire life, these live streams will help you connect the dots, strengthen your faith, and better understand the times we're living in. Don't miss this opportunity to grow in your knowledge of God's Word. Join these life-changing Bible study live streams right now. Find the link in the description of this episode. Share the link on all your social media so your friends can join in too. Again, the link is in the description of this episode. Look in the description and click it right now.
All right, we are back. I'm Brian Craig. Thanks for joining, everyone. That Bible study, the link is in the description on whatever platform you're listening to. So when you go in there, it'll say Bible study. Right next to it's the link. If you could click that, check out those Bible studies. They're really good. The person who put them together is a listener of the program. They watch on YouTube. They listen to the podcast. So if you could support them, I'd appreciate it. They're supporting me. So I appreciate that in advance. Again, the link is in the description. All right, let's go. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Okay, yeah, they thought better of it. The way that you've heard me talk about this since this campaign began in Iran, that President Trump is fighting this war in a way that the United States never has fought a war before. Because in the past, you know, there was a great book about the Vietnam War. Oh, I cannot remember the name of the author, but it was called The Great Shining Lie. Was it called The Great Shining Lie or The Big Shining Lie? I think it was called The Great Shining Lie. And it was about how things were being run by the government. And this is the first war we have been in where the commander-in-chief has been a businessman. The other wars we've been in, we've had many presidents came from the military, had military experience. Many of them were generals throughout history. A lot of them are just idiots that, like George W. Bush, that had been groomed and bed with the military-industrial complex military complex donors. You know how that works. And in Vietnam, you know, the way wars usually operate is the people in the military fight the war like they fought the previous war. Like during Vietnam and Korea, all the generals, many of them joined the service during the Second World War, the higher ranking generals, the older guys in the service. So they were fighting Vietnam and Korea, which were guerrilla wars like it was World War II, different tactics. You understand what I mean? And these other presidents we've had, Bush 1, Bush 2 in particular, you know, GW, Obama, when it came to the war on terror, they were trying to feed the military-industrial complex. Now we've got a businessman running the country. We have a businessman from the private sector who is a great president, but he's also a great commander-in-chief. And he's been waging this military operation in ways that have never been done before. And this is absolutely insanely amazing. Look at this. The Trump administration says oil pipelines have been massively upgraded, right? And are now circumventing 5 to 7 million barrels of oil per day around the Strait of Hormuz. Scott Bessent called it, the Strait is losing power. So they're bypassing, with pipelines, the Strait of Hormuz. Combined flows now average 15 million barrels per day, with 20 million exiting the Gulf region on Sunday, which is above the pre-conflict average. 7-day average is 9 billion barrels a day. Pipelines and export facilities, 5 to 7 million a day, combined over 15 million. So what President Trump has done, and he has this great Treasury Secretary who also comes from the world of business and finance, they're building pipelines to bypass the Strait of Hormuz. It's absolutely amazing. What they're doing is they're turning it into a ghost town, is really what they're doing, and it is absolutely genius. And this is what happens when you have a businessman who, by the way, is a successful businessman as the commander-in-chief in times of war. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
IB, Brian.
Hey, IB.
I'm going to get off the Bluetooth.
Next time, get off the Bluetooth when you call.
Yeah, sometimes I need hands-free. This is where I was going this morning, but Steve was really short with me.
Okay.
You just said it. This is where I wanted to go. Trump needs to divert all oil vessels to America and Venezuela to get the oil. Blow up Cog Island, the other island, blow up all of their oil refineries, like what Iraq did to Kuwait when they left and they burned the fields.
Yep.
Then we must give humanitarian aid to the regular Muslims, which are the Sunnis. The Shias is like the Democrats over there. They lost the war, but they're the ones with the guns and the power. And you just said it. we get rid of the strait. Everything comes to America, and then we divert all the other countries, Kuwait, UAE, Saudi Arabia, we divert all of that through the pipelines. We cut Iran off, period. We cut them off. They will not have any more money to do any more proxy wars around the globe. But we must go in and help the
Well,
people.
what they're doing, what they're doing, and the pipelines are much cheaper than the ships. You know, what they're doing is it's like the freeway bypassed all these towns around the country, right? You know what I mean? And it changed. You know, that they put in a freeway system for oil.
We're not going, right now, we're not going to get the nuclear dust, and I understand why Trump might still be in the fight, but we have satellites to keep hitting them if they try to uncover
Exactly.
it. Like you say, only China and America can get it out. But this is exactly what we need. And we cannot let them have any more money, because if we just leave everything and just walk away, they're still going to make money and they're going to still do what they do. So blow up everything that's oil-ridden where they will make money. Everyone comes to America and Venezuela to get their oil. That's going to make more jobs for not only Americans, and all the new pipelines that's going to be extended in Europe will create jobs for those people. And when the normal Iranian needs help, we're going to send as much air recovery and humanitarian aid that we can.
Yeah, and you know, IB, what they're doing, IB, what Trump is doing is resetting the balance of everything in the Middle East, and what he's doing is sidelining Iran, where they're not players anymore.
We just stifle them. No more bridges. No more auxiliary. We must leave them water, but no more source of power. They have to go to candlelight. Look what's going on in Cuba. And Cuba is in our back door. Mm-hmm. Screw them.
Exactly.
Screw them. Annihilated, and that's it. That's all I got to say.
All right, IB, I agree with everything you said. No, he's right on the money. And the pipeline, see what I mean about President Trump? He's an outside-the-box kind of guy when it comes to waging war, and he's setting the new standard of how wars will be fought. And you got to wonder how many other wars could have been either avoided or been much smaller than they were if we had thinking people like Donald Trump as president instead of these politicians. Jasmine Crockett, who's on her way out of Congress, she's talking about Republicans and MAGA. Listen.
Republicans are very performative, specifically in this moment, right? Like, a lot of them don't like Donald Trump.
Really? Who are these Republicans that don't like Donald Trump?
But they're too afraid to say so. So, you know, in general, they're just like, I gotta do what I gotta do to stay in this seat and to keep my family away from all the minions and make them.
Oh yeah, all the Republicans are confiding in Jasmine Crockett that they don't like Donald Trump. Do you see that happening?
Right. Mitch McConnell, dead or alive.
Yeah, well, that's the big mystery right there. Yeah, she is desperate for relevancy, isn't she? It's kind of sad. Now, you know, the Democrat Party establishment, there is some division because the Democrat Party establishment are working hard to purge the Democrat Socialist and lose. But there are some in the Democrat establishment that are working with them. This is the idiotic governor of Virginia. Okay, here she is talking about the Democrat Socialist. And, you know, the Democrat Socialists are not Democrats. They should not even be allowed to run as Democrats because I'm a Republican. I can't go run for office as a Democrat. They wouldn't let me do it.
The larger question, though, Governor, do you see the Democratic Party as a big tent that is open to all comers from what might be described as the mainstream or establishment Democrat, at the same time that increasingly there's it seems to be a move left on the progressive side, and how that ultimately shakes out?
I think the Democratic Party is a Big Ten party. We've always been a Big Ten party. I think the important piece is that anyone who's running for office should be telling voters what it is that they are for, what it is they intend to do, who they are.
Okay. So they've got this talking point that they're the Big Tent party, right? We keep hearing this over and over. We're a big tent. We welcome all. We have always been nothing could be further from the truth. The Democrats, what the Democrats had, okay, in the past, they were not a big tent. If you didn't agree with them 100%, you were out. And they had these things that they called litmus tests. Do you guys remember this litmus test? And they had all these litmus tests. And if you did not agree on any one of their many litmus tests, you are out as a Democrat. Do you support abortion? No? Well, you failed the litmus test on abortion, you're out. Do you support gun control? No. Oh, you failed the litmus test, sure. You could agree with them on everything but one thing, and you were out. Remember the days of the litmus test? So, no, they were not a big tent party. The Republican Party has, and that's one of the reasons we infight so much over all these years, because we are a big tent. President Reagan said, if you the Republican Party is a big tent. If you agree with us 80% of the time, you're welcome in the tent, and that's a good rule of thumb. But the Democrats, no, they have never been a big tent. We haven't been hearing any updates on the Moroccan Muslim invasion of Spain. That's kind of disappeared from the news, but I saw this today. Look at this. Breaks your heart. 5 underage girls allegedly raped following the migrant Moroccan Muslim invasion. Those poor girls, at least 5. At least 5 girls under the age of 14 raped by the Moroccan Muslims. Under the age of 14. Those are babies. Babies. And they will never recover from that. They are forever damaged from that. How do you recover when you're under the age of 14? Is a lot of wiggle room too. So how young, we don't know, but we know under the age of 14. Not only will those girls not recover psychologically, they may be permanently damaged from the assault, where they may not even be able to have children in the future when they're that young and they're raped. And it's not even in the news. And the left that welcome these people, the ones against the Lincoln-Riley Act and all that, that welcome these rapists and everything into these countries, including our own, they'll tell you in the same breath that they're the defenders of women's rights. Oh, we got to have that ERA and all these things. They just don't get it. And I've been talking a lot lately about how we have these Trojan horse people, like Abdul in Michigan is a Trojan horse. Mamdani is in the Trojan horse, and they parade around like, oh, we're Americans too. We just worship in a different way and all that stuff. There are certain things that make you American, all right? And there are certain things that all Americans love. One of them is Thanksgiving, right, that Hong's against. And another one is the 4th of July. 4th of July has always been a great American holiday, hasn't it? It really is. But not for Abdul. Abdul doesn't like the 4th of July. And he's very vocal about it. Listen to this guy, he's nuts. I can't say his name, the full version. Abdul Rahman? I don't know. That sounds, is that a food? Abdul spoke about reasons why the 4th of July fireworks, in his words, and I quote, suck, in a now deleted YouTube video from 2 years ago. And this is reported, notice, by CNN. Remember I've been telling you guys that the Democrat establishment are working against these Democrat socialists? CNN doesn't report negative things about Democrats historically. They are now. Abdul last week, of course, won the primary, but look at this. According to the CNN article published yesterday, or no, today, this is a CNN article today. According to a CNN article published today, in the deleted video, which they somehow obtained, the Muslim leftist Abdul was asking viewers if patriotic Americans could mark the occasion, the 4th of July, without using traditional fireworks. He also reportedly attacked the Second Amendment. The CNN article said, Michigan Democratic Senate nominee Abdul El-Sayed once asked his YouTube viewers whether Americans could please find another way to celebrate the 4th of July in a video promising 4 reasons why fireworks suck. Well, why is he asking Americans? I wouldn't say, I'm asking Americans to find another way. I say, can we celebrate, if you're an American, you say, can we celebrate in a different way? He's talking about Americans as if he's not one of us, which is what we keep telling you. But they're trying to pass him off as one of us, and he's talking about us as if he's not one of us. The since removed video from July 2024 by Abdul included a chapter titled, "Fireworks Just Aren't Worth It. Hear us out," and cited Detroit's post-fireworks air quality, the chemicals used in fireworks, the potential to trigger PTSD in veterans, and the risk they pose to children and pets. Oh my goodness. Yeah, this is from CNN. In the other since removed clips, Abdul argued that the southern border was not among Americans' 5 biggest concerns. Well, he's wrong about that. The videos are all gone, and he goes into it. But you know, I mean, he says Americans, not we. And have you ever known anyone in this country who is against fireworks? That says I've never heard anyone advocate against fireworks before. But you know why he doesn't like it? Because he's not an American. He may have been born in Michigan, but he's not an American in his heart and mind, and he doesn't like the celebration of America's birth. Because like most people that are hardcore leftists from the Middle East that hate the United States and Israel, they think that the problems of the world all began on July 4th, 1776 for some strange reason. But if he were one of us, you know, he would not be an advocate against using fireworks to celebrate America's birthday. And the reason fireworks are used to celebrate different things other than the 4th of July. But I was always kind of, I don't think this is an official thing, but I always kind of view the fireworks as kind of a reenactment of the Battle of Baltimore, which is where the Star-Spangled Banner came from, right? Where our flag was still, you know, the bombs bursting in air. I always kind of thought that it's a reenactment of the Star-Spangled Banner Battle of Baltimore. That's what I always thought. I don't know if that's an official thing with the fireworks. Have you guys had that same thought? At least that's what always goes through my mind when I'm watching the fireworks. Now, I will tell you this. Abdul does agree with every pet I've ever had. My dogs, my cats, they don't like fireworks, okay? That's true. I had one dog that didn't seem to mind. She just slept all night. But my dogs, my cats that I've had my whole life, they always run and hide somewhere in the house during the fireworks. I guess that's what Abdul does too, I guess. I don't know. If you're on hold, hang in there. If you'd like to call in, please do. The number's toll-free, 888-465-2631. We'll be right back.
Every day brings new possibilities, an opportunity to create, an opportunity to discover something that adds a little more inspiration to your life. And in Victoria, every collection begins with a simple idea. Wonderful discoveries should be exciting, memorable, and accessible. Thousands of possibilities are waiting to be explored. The next one could be yours. Begin your journey at invictora.com. ENVICTORA.com. In Victoria, inspired by
All right, we're back, and you're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Jonathan from Minnesota.
All right, Jonathan, what's up?
Nothing. I just what's the topic today? What are you
Well, the
talking about?
way the show works is you watch and listen, and then you find something that interests you or ticks you off, or you have a comment on, and then you call up.
Okay. Well, I know you're talking about Trump, but were you talking about the war, or?
That was one of the things we covered. Yeah, one of the things we covered. Sure.
Well, I just don't understand his approach here. Now he's wanting to wait it out and starve them to death.
Yeah.
You know, something that was already being done before the war, if you don't realize. And I went up to bat for Trump with my wife, with my friends. I all told him he has a plan. He's going to take care of Iran and get a great deal and get this over with. And it just doesn't seem like it's happening or it's coming at all.
Yeah.
And now we're being told to be patient.
Well, the reason, you said you don't really understand what's going on. Well, that's because, you're a liberal in Minnesota that's been taken over by Somali pirates. Did you vote?
Yeah, I'm a Republican.
Who'd you vote for governor?
I'm actually going through some health issues now.
Oh, okay.
I can't make it to the polls. I got to stay in the house. But
Oh, they don't have absentee in Minnesota? Or you don't know who the Republicans are that are running? You're probably Googling right now. You're probably Googling right now, talking to ChatGPT, trying to get some names for me. I mean, come on.
It's the pillow guy that's
The pillow guy. Yeah, you sound like a MAGA Republican that supported Trump. The pillow guy? That's what liberals call him. I don't, I understand it might feel...
Why does it matter what I call him, buddy? I mean,
because if you really were a Republican, you wouldn't call him the pillow guy. You would call him Mike Lindell. The pillow guy is what Democrats, what liberals and Trump haters call him, the pillow guy. See, the problem is with you fake. Yeah, well, that's because you're a Democrat.
Well, I voted Democrat before. I voted.
Yeah, I know you probably vote Democrat. I know. So the problem is when you fake Republicans call in, your vocabulary is your liberal Democrat vocabulary.
So there's different vocabularies. I thought they were two parties
Well, you're using liberal terms. Conservatives, Republicans do not refer to Mike Lindell as the pillow guy. That is what liberals refer to him as a way to try to denigrate him.
Could you elaborate on the Somali pirates? What I don't understand what you mean by that.
Are you familiar with Mr. Nick Shirley?
Yeah, I am.
Okay, and the Leering Center of Minneapolis. Okay, the Somali pirate. Okay, the Somalis in the past had these pirates that were hijacking cargo ships and such. They made a movie with Tom Hanks called Captain Phillips, right? And these Somali pirates would hijack oil tankers, cargo ships. Well, where you're at in Minnesota, and and if you were a Republican, you would know all about this and be very outraged. Somalis that have been dropped into your state by Barack Obama and are being they're stealing billions and billions of dollars in Medicare fraud from the federal government, and I refer to them as Somali pirates.
Oh, okay. I just don't believe that. I believe Nick Shirley's videos were just really out of context.
Well, because you're a Democrat.
I mean,
why did you lie to me? Why did you lie to me when you called? With this thing that you're a Republican who defended Trump and everything else. You call Mike Lindell the pillow guy. You're calling. Of course. Yeah. You call Mike Lindell the pillow guy. You say Nick Shirley has taken his The Leering centers, all that fraud was taken out of context.
It looks like you're obfuscating from the Iran war that we're...
No, I'm exposing you as a fraud and a liar.
Well, yeah,
yeah, I
can
did,
think I'm a
exactly.
liar, but if our president is a liar, that's even worse. That's pretty bad.
President Trump is not a liar.
Well, he said they were building nuclear bombs. Did he prove
they
that
were.
to the American people?
They were.
Okay.
But wait a minute. But are you ready to admit? Are you ready to admit that you lied? That you're a Democrat? You're a liberal?
No, you asked me. If
no, you're not ready to admit it.
Was wrong.
You still want to float this? You know, the reason, you know, see, you guys on the left are all about deception. There's nothing about Democrats that's not about deception. And you've been trying to get this narrative. Excuse me, I'm not finished.
Trump, is it?
I'm not finished. And you liberals out there, you've been trying to get this narrative going for months, like 6 months or more, that Republicans have turned on Trump. So what happens is liberals like you call in pretending to be Trump voters, and then by the things you say, you expose yourself. You said Nick Shirley's Minneapolis reporting that's worthy of Pulitzer Prizes was out of context. You called Mike Lindell the pillow guy. You know, you called Trump a liar. I mean, you know, everything about you has been a fraud.
I mean, it's not a fraud if you clearly state that Mr. Trump has not provided evidence that nuclear bombs were being built in Iran.
They were enriching your uranium that is used to weaponize bombs, and they certainly have had rockets because they launched a bunch.
I'll tell you what, Barack Hussein Obama had a deal with them that was sufficient in restraining them from...
Oh, see, now you're praising Obama. Are you, you know, I mean, come on.
What? No,
aren't you, I mean, do you have any integrity? I'm not answering your questions. Why should I answer your questions?
Okay, so
you're a liar.
So what deal is Trump going to get that's better than Barack?
Oh, Barack Obama didn't get a good deal, and President Trump doesn't want to deal with Iran anymore.
Why?
Because Iran is like you. They're a troll. You're a troll caller. They're a troll nation, and they're irrelevant.
It sounds like you're just racist, and you don't like any other...
What do you mean racist? What did I say that was racist?
I mean,
more liberal words and phrases. My pillow guy, Trump's a liar, I'm a racist. Yeah, well, that's what liberals do. When they're losing arguments, they call people racist. Because you're starting to feel stupid.
You're calling the Iranian government and the Iranian people trolls.
Yes.
Which doesn't make sense. It's nonsensical. So
no, you just have a low IQ and can't understand and comprehend what I'm saying to you.
That makes you say that the JCPOA was a bad deal.
The JCPOA? What is the JCPOA? Is that some offshoot of JCPenney? JCPOA. What is that?
No, it's the Joint Comprehension Plan of Action. If you didn't know,
oh my goodness.
Look it up.
No, I don't need to look up anything. I don't need to look up anything. This is what I know. Barack Obama gave $1 quadrillion in cash to the Iranians, which they used to fund Islamic terrorism.
Are you sure it was a quadrillion?
A quadrillion is not...
a quadrillion?
Yes.
Okay, you just lied.
No, I didn't lie. No. A quadrillion is not a real number. Okay? It's not a real number. It's a fictitious number.
Amount of money.
Yeah, yes.
$1 billion.
He gave them billions of dollars. He gave them so much money.
It was $1
Excuse
billion.
me.
It was $1 billion.
He gave them so much money that the human mind cannot comprehend the amount. And he also, when he did it, when he gave them the money in cash, he emptied out the cash reserves of all of the banks in the Northeast. We're lucky he didn't cause a Great Depression. He emptied out all the banks.
Oh my God, bro! Stop victimizing yourself. Stop blowing things out of proportion.
I'm not victimizing myself. So, are you ready to admit you lied?
$1 billion.
Are you? It wasn't their money. No.
Yes, it was.
Nope.
Stop lying to the American people, Brian.
Nope.
You're an Israeli propagandist.
See, more liberals speak.
You're a Zionist propagandist. I've watched your show.
Well, a lot of people do.
You're a bigot.
Uh-huh.
You're Islamophobic.
And you're calling me a
and
Jew?
You're not.
Did you call me a Jew? What are you calling me?
No, you're not. You're
You said,
not a Jew.
what are you saying?
You've never been a Jew.
Okay, what am I? You said I'm a Zionist propagandist? What does that mean?
Yes, you're a Zionist genocide supporting animal. You're a beast. And after Trump gets out of office, you and your little clan of racist white men will have nowhere to run and hide. You guys will have nowhere to vote, and you guys will never see somebody as racist as Donald Trump.
What do you mean? So you're gonna round up all the white people after the election? What are you gonna do?
Oh, it's all the white. No, all the illiterate, dumb white men that are racist will be rounded. Well, you guys will be all in one group of people. You guys will be so marginalized.
Yeah.
You will ail for the days of Donald Trump. You will wish that these racist days will return once again, and it will never happen.
Mm-hmm.
It just won't happen.
Yeah.
MAGA has ended. Do you know that? You better enjoy these last 2 years, buddy.
So is the reason you can't leave your house is because you're not allowed to?
What?
You said earlier you didn't vote because you can't leave your home. Are you not allowed to leave?
No, I'm not, because I'm recovering from medical surgery. So.
Oh, you're in some type of recovery.
Yeah,
so you're like a prisoner?
No, I'm recovering from my surgery. Are you illiterate, or like did you?
Illiterate? I'm not reading. You're not giving me things to read. We're having a conversation.
I mean, are you not there? Are you okay? Do you understand that you and the MAGA party have created divisions in America?
Well, people disagree. And what are you doing? You're calling me a Zionist animal and all those things?
What do you mean? You love sending billions of dollars to another government, to a government that
We sent the United States. The United States sends foreign aid to countries all over the world. Why is it only Israel that you take issue with?
Because the other countries that we're giving foreign aid to haven't committed a full-blown genocide, and
really,
they don't have.
You mean like
me, let me finish.
Oh,
the other countries
okay.
that we give aid.
Yeah.
The other countries we give aid to, they are not a part of an apartheid regime.
Oh, really?
It's apartheid. Have you ever visited Tel Aviv?
Have
you ever visited Jerusalem?
Only to pick up my checks.
I see.
I don't leave the airport. So, I just fly in, they hand me the check, and I fly out like Tucker.
The reason why Donald Trump is an Israeli asset, why the Israelis run him, is all because America.
He thinks I'm serious about that too.
She dropped $300+ million on Donald Trump, and Donald Trump is a little whore for money.
Okay, I'm gonna move on because I think it's time for you.
You don't want to talk about the war. You don't want to talk about the war.
No, I don't want to talk to you. I just don't want to talk to you.
I know you don't want to ever talk to anybody that has a.
I've had you on the. You've been on the line for 14 minutes and 39 seconds.
Yeah, do you have anything of substance to debate me with? You don't.
To debate you? No, you're not worthy of. You're not worthy of a debate with me.
Oh, now I'm not worthy. Okay.
No.
Your Israeli buddies are worthy, aren't they?
Yeah. He's laughing.
What?
I said I was talking to the audience. I said he's laughing.
Yeah, it's hilarious. You represent the state of Israel before you represent the American citizens in America.
Okay. All right. You still want to stick with that? You still want to stick to? You still want to stick to that line you began with, that you voted for Trump and defended Trump to your friends, and he's betrayed you? Or are you going to admit you lied?
Yeah, I did, and he's let me down. I voted for him this time around.
He let you down, but aren't your parents let down by you?
Sir, I'm a 58-year-old man. I have 4 kids. Do you know who the fuck you're talking to?
Oh, there you go. Nice. No, I don't want to know who you are.
Yeah, and
Your
guess
poor
what,
kids.
Brian?
Your poor
Your
children.
show sucks, and I see why your wife left you. You
My
fucking
wife.
coward. You're
My
a
wife's
coward.
in the next room.
Yeah. Yeah,
Where'd
stop
you-
it. Your wife divorced you, dude. She doesn't
Where did you
want
get
nothing
that?
to do with
Where'd you
your
get
fucking
that at?
life.
Where'd you get that at? Where'd you get that idea at?
I heard your wife divorced you. That's what I heard.
Kathy, did you leave me? Not yet. Okay, she said not yet. She's still here. Okay.
She's tired of your narcissistic self. You have to be a narcissist to support Trump in some way.
Yes.
You know?
Where'd you get this story that my wife divorced me? Where'd that come from?
I just heard your wife left you. I mean, that's
By who? Where did you hear that? Where did you hear that? Google?
ChatGPT.
ChatGPT said that my wife divorced me?
Yeah. in the comments on your live show.
Oh, and the comments in the live chat. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. ChatGPT said my wife left me. Oh my goodness.
It must suck being a man that's so racist and bigoted. You have to support a guy like Donald Trump.
Yeah. Okay. Hey, listen, I'm going to run.
Okay. You have a great life, Brian.
Yes. Okay. Oh, you mean you're never going to call me again? You promise? We're never going to talk again.
No, I'm not.
Oh, you said have a great life. I thought you would never call me again. I was getting all excited.
Yeah, I won't.
Oh, okay. So this is the last time we're going to talk?
Yeah.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you. Oh. It's a living. Oh, man. Let me take a quick break, and I'm going to run real quick during the break and take a quick shower and wash that guy's stench off of me from that conversation. But I do have some more I want to share. Don't go anywhere, all right? My name's Brian. This is where MAGA comes to talk. We'll be right back.
Have you ever wondered what it truly feels like to battle the darkest corners of the human mind? From author Socialist comes a deeply moving psychological novel that you will want to add to your must-read list. The Never-Ending Maze. Available at Lulu.com and Google Play Books. Written in the form of a personal diary, this intimate and emotionally powerful story invites readers into the inner world of a woman searching for hope while confronting loneliness, broken dreams, depression, and the desire to be understood. The Never-Ending Maze explores whether healing, purpose, and light can still be found even in the deepest darkness. Heartfelt reflections on relationships, faith, mental health, art, and the struggle to keep moving forward. Every page offers an honest and unforgettable journey. This book also makes a great addition to your book club. Order your copy right now on Lulu.com and Google Play Books. The Never-Ending Maze from author Socialist.
When I got my pillow, I'm asleep almost immediately. Stay asleep at night, and I wake up at 12 in the morning.
All right, I want to take a moment to talk about Tom Laporta over at Laporta Roofing. You know, I tell you, I was telling you this morning when I was talking about Tom Laporta that it was rainy season and it rains every day. You know, when I went to break, I went in the other room, I looked out the window, and it was raining. It does rain. Every morning when I leave the house, it rains every night after I go to sleep. It's rainy season here in Florida, otherwise known as hurricane season. And if you've got a wet spot on your ceiling, you've got a leak in your roof, you want to call Tom Laporta and get that taken care of. That leak in your roof is a loose tile or shingle up at the roof. And when those hurricane and tropical storm force winds come through, what that is an entryway underneath your roof. And when that storm comes, it can rip your whole roof off. And that's a terrible thing to go through. during a tropical storm or a hurricane. Tom Laporte is a good MAGA guy, too. He'll never sell you a roof you do not need. If you need just a simple repair, he will do it. He covers both the east and west coast of Florida, from the Atlantic Ocean all the way to the Gulf of America and everywhere in between. He also works on every type of structure, residential, commercial, municipal. He works with every type of roofing material, and he can handle a job of any size, whether it's one home, one office building, or an HOA with 500 units. Tom Laporte can handle it. Give him a call or text. This number rings directly to Tom Laporte's cell phone, 954-604-4602. 954-604-4602. That's 954-604-4602. And online, laporteroofing.com. All right? Okay, so I thought this whole story that I covered this morning, I got a little update, of President Trump's escape from Turkey from the Iranians was super cool. I mean, it was like James Bond. And the left are pissed off about it. And they're pissed off for a couple of reasons. They're claiming to be upset, the media, that they were left on the decoy plane, which was Air Force. If you're not familiar with the story, you can get updated on it. I don't want to go through the whole story now. I think most have probably heard the story. But think about it. The entire White House press corps was on Air Force One. They flew all the way from Turkey to the UK, which is a very long flight, and they did not know the president was not on the aircraft. That makes them look like idiots. And when you, that's how stupid they are. They're not journalists at all. And they're putting out this fake story that he was taken off in a food cart, like the stewardesses take down the aisle of an airplane, like Trump was inside this little box, and they would. No, he walked right off the other side of the plane. He went into a container. You know, a shipping container? It was a catering truck shipping container, so it's the size of the semi-trailer. And he just walked in it, and they drove him to the other plane. But boy, are they pissed in the media. They're always pissed at Trump. You know, what are you going to do, right? But here's Claire McCaskill, Democrat, and she's talking about all these Democrats that are upset that Trump escaped the Iranian assassins.
Do you have questions, or would you have questions about this operation, this switch? Well, I think it's weird.
It's not weird. It's just, it had to be pretty serious. I've never heard of the Secret Service doing anything like that. And, you know, do you remember in his first term, never seen this happen before either, President Trump, remember when Antifa was burning down Washington and attacking the White House? President Trump was giving a live press conference on television. Secret Service man goes up to him, whispers in his ear, he says, okay, and he says, I gotta go. The Secret Service rushed him out of the press briefing room because Antifa was attacking the front gate of the White House. Now all these assassination attempts. This guy, it's not weird. What's weird is that they keep trying to kill him, right?
Served on the Armed Services Committee. Do you have questions, or would you have questions about this operation, this switcheroo? Well, I think it's weird, but I'm kind of with Dave on this. If they had disclosed this after the fact, then I think everyone would be a little more comfortable with the fact that we're finding out these sourced folks, right, that this has happened is probably not great. But they were trying, I think there probably was a credible threat. And I don't think anybody would argue that Iran would like, we took out their entire senior leadership of their country. And they are extremists. And Trump is their number one enemy. So I understand why they would go to extraordinary lengths to try to protect him if it really was a credible threat. If we had a Democratic president in the same position, I think all of us would say, well, you know, I'm glad they figured out a way to protect the president better. Just because it's Donald Trump and we think he's a horrible president, we should keep in mind that the president's protection is important for our country. And it would be a terrible thing for any president to be assassinated, especially by a foreign government.
Yeah, Claire McCaskill, she's not in the Senate anymore, so she can be a little more free. But she's saying if he were a Democrat, we'd be saying, oh, what cunning bravery. But because we don't like Trump, we're upset. You know, the thing about this, if he's such a bad president, why are they trying to kill him all the time? Right? If he were a bad president, they wouldn't be trying to kill him. They would let him wreck the country. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
This is Steve from Staten Island.
Hey, Steve.
And, well, listening to these people, it's just amazing. When like Biden and Carter won, I'm not being a Republican, I didn't care for it, but I just let them do their little job and see if they can do it. And if not, we vote them out.
That's right.
Quite differently with the other side.
Exactly.
It's amazing. What's worse is the fact that they're seeing as Trump is doing a better job than any of the others did, and it ticks them off. So every time we say, the president's doing great, which he is, they just can't take it. Like I said,
We just wait till the next election. We're not happy. We lose an election. We wait till the next one, and we run somebody else and hopefully win. That's how it works. But not these liberals.
That's exactly. No. That's the thing is, they just can't take that at once. They're hoping that their Democrat is going to win and win and win all the time, and it's not going to happen. There's always going to be a president that's going to fail, like Biden. I'm sorry, but the man failed. We didn't go against Kamala because she was black. It was because she was part of an administration that failed the American people. That's it.
That's right. That's right. You know, wise people in Staten Island. Hey, listen, I appreciate the call. You take care. All right. Yeah, he's a wise guy. He is a very smart caller. All right. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, it's Renee from Harlem. I see they have you on in the middle of the day now.
Yeah? What, am I supposed to like play some intro music? It's Renee from Harlem and get all excited? What's on your mind, Renee?
Well, I just wanted to spread the air on the racist radio that your Donald Trump is going to be a lame duck. He's going to be a dead duck if you think he's going to be.
All right, enough of him. Oh, my goodness. You know, I think Renee from Harlem is one of those callers that has, his usefulness on the program has expired. He's stayed with us long past the expiration date of the caller. You know, he's lost his mind. His Trump derangement syndrome has gotten so serious, he just can't even see straight. Do me a favor, Renee, lose my number. If you guys would like to support my channel and everything I do, become a Patreon supporter. You know, when you become a Patreon supporter, you get access to exclusive content, including my Patreon-only live streams, which are on the Patreon platform itself. And it's a live stream much like here on YouTube, except it's a troll-free zone, and it's only available to paying Patreon supporters. And I talk about things that I cannot talk about here and that you'll never hear me talk about here or anywhere else. There's a link in the description. Now, when you go there, you'll see an option to join for free. If you join for free, you don't have access to any of the content. You have to be a paying member to see and access the content, and it starts at just $5 a month, and you get access to the Patreon-only live streams and much more. If you become a top Patreon supporter, you get a live on-air thank you shout-out on every episode, and you get your name up on YouTube on the screen. So the names you'll hear now are my top Patreon supporters. I want to thank SFjr, Christine, Chuck, Pamela, Nick, Wesley, Doris, Heather, David, Maria in Texas, Alice, LeeZep, Shawna, George, Brandon, I lost my place. Where am I? Yeah, okay, John, Frank, Dale, Tina, David, Laura, Rob, Wes, Sue, Janice, Teresa, Irene, Rick, Michael, and Robert R. These are my top Patreon supporters. Thank you all. And again, there's a link to my Patreon page in the description. All right? Okay. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? You're on. Yeah, you're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
My name is Brian, and I'm calling.
Yeah, okay, I'm sure you are. AOC is, you know, she's been in the news a lot the last 48 hours. And what she's been doing is she's separating herself from the Democrat Socialist, which is really a strange thing since Bernie Sanders is the first Democrat Socialist, but she was the second. And now she's trying to get out of there. She's gone mainstream. And she's been doing a series of things. One, she went on with Jonathan Karl over the weekend on ABC's This Week, and Woke One was crazy, and she's distancing herself from the Democrat Socialist. Then she went through this process in the living room of her apartment of freezing her eggs. And I got an update on her, which I'm getting to. And the freezing of her eggs, the reason she did that is she wants to let people know that she's of childbearing years. And the reason that she's doing the egg freezing, if she's even really doing it, but going through the motions of the freezing of her eggs, as opposed to doing it the old-fashioned way, which would be have sex with her fiancé that she's been with for like 10 years or more, is because she wants to be sexually desirable to men. She's planning on running for president, so she wants men to be attracted and turned on by her, and if she gets impregnated by her boyfriend, a lot of men will not be attracted to her anymore. She'll be unobtainable because she's with a man. And then she dropped another video today. Did you see what she did today? She drops a video wearing a sports bra on the way to work out, right? And basically what AOC is becoming is an OnlyFans girl. She's the first OnlyFans congresswoman. And she's trying to use sex and everything else to get support from men so she can run for president or vice president with Gavin Newsom or whoever else. Listen.
So I'm on my way to my last strength training and lifting session, and let's go.
Yeah, let's go. In my sports bra. I'm an OnlyFans member of Congress. I've seen people reinvent themselves, but that's what she's doing here, right? I mean, there's no getting around it, and it's really bizarre, isn't it? I wonder. Yeah, it is gross, and plus she's nuts too. She's just plain sane. I'm sure it's very hard for her to pretend to be sane, but I think if I were to guess, the most likely Democrat right now to be the nominee in 2028 is Senator Fetterman, because he's going the same route too. He always sounds rational and reasonable on TV interviews, even though he always votes with the Democrats in the Senate. He always seems rational. He started wearing suits, and if I were to choose, now it's a long way off, so anything can happen and things can change. But right now, if I were to bet on it, I would say Fetterman and AOC will be running mates. If I looked at it right now. Now, again, that could change, and it's way off. But they're both lunatics who are trying to become mainstream and sound reasonable. AOC is the vice president, and Fetterman running at the top of the ticket. That's what it looks like to me, and I imagine they've talked about it. All right, let's go. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Steve from Texas.
Hey, Steve in Texas. What's on your mind?
Hey, I was just calling to say I think Trump's the best president, and all these demon rats are just a bunch of morons.
Well, on that point, we'll agree. I agree with you. Thanks for your call. Lindsey Graham, his sister, she's awesome. And she came out and voted for herself today. If you're on hold, hang in there. She came out and voted for herself today. And then she had a little bit of a message. This is Lindsey Graham's sister, who's now the senator. She looks like Lindsey. Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. Every time she talks, it's always about the Save America Act, isn't it? I like her. She could end up being one of the most senior, powerful Republicans in Washington. And you know what? I would not be surprised if she ends up being president or vice president. Would you? South Carolina is an important state too, and everybody likes her. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Ted from Oklahoma.
Hey, Ted in Oklahoma. What's up?
Why do you support a, educated? Why do you support a rapist for president?
I don't.
Adjudicated-
Actually. So I don't quite understand what you're referencing. Oh my goodness. I tell you, there's a lot of confused men in this audience today. And of course, the question is, in Oklahoma, what time is it in Oklahoma? It's like Oklahoma. It's like 2 hours behind. It's like 3:30 in the afternoon. Why is a grown man not working at 3:30 in the afternoon, in the middle of the day, at the beginning, kind of almost the middle of the week? Good question, huh? I'm interested in that. And you're obsessed over things that are quite bizarre. But no, Lindsey Graham's sister wouldn't that be something if she ended up being like the running mate of J.D. Vance or Marco Rubio? Could you see that happening? I absolutely could. If you're new to my channel, welcome. Make sure you subscribe. My name's Brian, and this obviously is where MAGA comes to talk. And I'm here live every morning of the week, even weekends, weekdays and weekends. I'm here most afternoons as well. And anytime I'm in the studio, like I'm doing now, I take live calls. And the number is pinned in the live chat. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
It's Bill from Vicksburg.
Yeah, I'm sure it is. And I always take live calls. All opinions are welcome. Okay? And if you guys could do me the favor, if you've not already done it, and that is like the video, if you don't mind, if you could please like the video. When you like the video, it helps so much, guys, because what it does is get the video recommended to people on YouTube that have not yet found the channel. And those of you that are listening on the audio podcast platforms, subscribing, which is always free, has the same effect, right? When you like the video on YouTube, it gets the video recommended to people that have not yet found the channel. And when you follow or subscribe on the audio podcast platforms, it has the same effect. It gets the podcast recommended to people on whatever platform you're on that have not yet found the program. So if you could follow and subscribe on whatever platform you're listening on the audio podcast platforms, that would be greatly appreciated as well. This is one of the scummiest people ever to be in Congress. Adam Schiff, who's one of the senators from California. Listen, talking about the Democrat Socialist.
Have you endorsed LeeZep?
I'm supporting him, and just spoke with him. I stayed out of the primary, but I'm supporting him, and just spoke with him for the first time earlier this week, and that is the seat we must win.
Wow. Here he is palling around with a guy that who says that America deserved 9/11, and he's willing to endorse and support such a person that says that hangs around with people who say America got what it deserved on 9/11. Now, Tucker Carlson, he did this interview with Hunter Biden on his podcast this week. I covered some of that yesterday, and Tucker's just saying weird stuff. Listen.
But it didn't work. It didn't work. It didn't matter that you voted for him. You got the same thing that you're going to get if you voted for Kamala Harris. That's my perspective on it. And so what does that tell you? It tells you that you're putting your faith in the wrong thing, which is in a political system, whereas there's got to be a real solution that begins with changing people's hearts. That's what I think.
Yeah, and Hunter Biden is the person to talk about such spiritual things. He's talking about Donald Trump. He's saying with Donald Trump, we got the same thing as if we got Willie Brown's girlfriend, Kamala Harris, elected. Now, I wanted to show you this because this is very important. So I was telling you how they're trying to promote this BS story that President Trump was taken off of Air Force One in a catering cart, like the flight attendants push through the. That's not true. And I've actually got video of what he left Air Force One on. Okay, so let me pull this up. If you're watching on YouTube, you can see it. Now, if you're watching on YouTube, on the right side of the screen, this is the old Air Force One. You see the stairs that lead up to the door, the famous stairs where the presidents stay, and right on the other side is the catering truck, and it has a huge shipping container that's the size of the whole truck. It's on a lift, and it lifts up, and he just walked on a ramp right into that container. They took him down and drove him to the other plane. That's it. He didn't get in some tiny little catering cart that the stewardesses had. They're trying to put that out there to, try to humiliate him. I thought it was pretty heroic. You know what I'm interested in is who drove that catering truck. I'm sure it was not the catering truck normal guy, right? It had to be like Secret Service, soldiers, somebody. I would like to know, wouldn't you? Now this is, let me see what they say here. This is CNN covering the story. Okay, it goes on and on. I mean, they're just really upset. And I got an update here from Fox News on the president's daring escape. I think that the way that they got him out of there is pretty super cool. Okay, now this is Fox News reporting, and this is the Fox News reporter who's the new head of the White House Press Association.
Well, it has reportedly happened. The White House made no mention of the threat to the president's life, but led reporters to believe that they would be flying with the president on Air Force One, the old Air Force One, so that the new Qatari jet could be shown off to U.S. troops stationed in Britain. But after boarding in Turkey, they were told to keep their window shades down, and that's when the Washington Post reports the president was taken off the plane, loaded onto a catering truck, and put on another plane, an Air Force C-32A, and quote, that made Air Force One a decoy, with media and some White House staff aboard, the official said. And we've just reviewed archived footage from that day, and you can see the catering truck behind the old Air Force One before takeoff. When the press landed in the UK to refuel, the Post reports Trump was loaded back onto the plane.
It's hilarious.
And that is when reporters asked him why they were told to keep their window shades closed. Now, there is some historical precedent for concealing the president's whereabouts during times of critical threats, but in those situations, the administration revealed what was going on either in real time to the press traveling with the president or after the fact. Neither of those happened in this situation as it is reported. Sandra.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's one of the super cool things President Trump has ever done, this whole escape. And the press, I mean, they're okay. They're very embarrassed that they didn't know he wasn't on the plane. They're just embarrassed because what kind of journalists are they? You had the entire White House press corps. They act like they have all these sources that are always leaking them information, and they get their like that guy that called and said that my wife left me. That's how their sources. They just make things up, right? And then they spread it around and everything else. They're embarrassed that they flew all the way from Turkey to England and they had no idea the President of the United States was not on the plane, and they're really embarrassed by it. Not only that, they didn't even know what happened until yesterday. They have no sources, they're not journalists, they're fake news, they're hacks, and they're propagandists. And they look like what they are, fake news, and they're embarrassed by it. That's it, And so far as the decoy plane, they're the ones that leaked the damn story. That Air Force One couldn't fight off rockets from Iran and all this crap. I mean, they were trying to get the plane shot down. And they should have a little sympathy. Most of them were at the White House Correspondents' Dinner a couple months back, and they survived an assassination attempt themselves. And even though they went through that, they can't snap out of their Trump derangement syndrome suffering. So, guys, if you're new again, make sure that you subscribe to the channel, all right? This is where MAGA comes to talk. And everyone, please like the video. That helps me so much, and it's greatly appreciated. My name is Brian Craig. This is where MAGA comes to talk. I'll see you first thing, bright and early.